white trim, their white helmets, white pants, along with their yellow and blue trim on the pants. On the other hand, Wheaton Central, the Tigers, are in their orange helmets and pants along with their white jerseys and black trim, as these two teams just met 8 days ago with Wheaton Central winning it at Central 35-9. Jason Schnack getting ready to boot it from his own 40-yard line, as here is the opening kickoff. High end over end kick. Billy Hess will take it from his own 2. He cuts it straight up the middle before he's met by Kyle Kelso at the 15-yard line. And that's where Wheaton Central will take it over, 1st and 10.
Good start for the Falcons, Bob. Kyle Kelso not only does it on offense, but on the special teams as well. Very fast. It was a nice high boot by Schnack, which sent Hess back to the 5.
And that's got to be the key man in this game for North. Kyle Kelso, they have to stop him on all fronts, on offense and defense, because he's such a well-rounded player. So 1st and 10 from the 16. Jeff Thorne barks out the signals. He has receivers draped left and right, running backs in the pro set backfield. Looking over the defense, audibilizing at the line of scrimmage. Now back to pass. 3-step drop, fires. He's got Dudek in the flat. It's caught at the 40, and he falls down at the 42-yard line. There was some preliminary bumping between him and the sophomore Matt Steyer, but Dudek pulls it in, and it's a 26-yard gain.
Yeah, Dudek went on the sophomore Brian Steyer, and Brian Steyer never looked back at the pass. It was just one of those plays where I thought Thorne would drop back, hit Dudek right off the bat, and test out the sophomore in the Falcons secondary.
And it was a timing pattern, just one-on-one. Dudek's a big kid at 6'3" 200 pounds, and he had the size on Steyer on that one. Now here's the pitch. Hess sweeping right side. Penalty markers down. He's hauled down in the backfield. Jimmy Rose from the linebacker spot coming up. However, there is a flag down, and we'll have to see what the preliminary indication is from our referee today, who's Stan Block. And it looks like it's going to be holding against Wheaton Central. Excuse me, check that illegal procedure instead. So we'll have to see if North takes the penalty. No, they'll decline it, so it'll bring up about a 2nd and 11 situation. He lost about a yard on that play, Joe.
Yeah, there was a lot of penetration by the Falcon defensive front. The linebackers have to do the job. They have to fill the gaps, unlike the last time they met where the running backs for the Tigers just ran wild.
If you're just joining us, this is the early stages of the first quarter. Just under 11 minutes to go in the period. First drive of the game. Here's Thorne on the option. Pitches it to Scott. He sweeps around left side, gets around the corner to about the 46-yard line before he's taken out of bounds. It's a gain of about 5 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 6 situation.
The Falcon North secondary has to come up and make those plays on Scott on the option. That's their job.
And they strung him out. However, that great speed from Scott. He's the fastest guy on that Central team. He runs a 4.6 40. Tremendously strong, too. He bench presses 450 pounds. He's just a junior, and he showed some speed getting on the outside and getting 5 yards. But that brings up a 3rd and 6 situation. Running backs pro set. Thorne here's to give Shutters right side. He's going to come up short a couple yards. He was tripped up at about the 50-yard line, but it's going to be a couple yards short, and Central will have to punt.
Good play by the Falcons. The line doing a good job. Sean Quinn, Andy Nicholson in there, and just tripped them up. They tried the power run with Shutters up the middle, and he only mustered a couple. They needed about 4 or 5.
It's a 4th and 2 situation. Kind of a surprising call from Coach Thorne. It was a 3rd and 6, and they decided to run against that strong North defense that doesn't give up very much yardage. But Coach Thorne told us earlier this week that he tries to run 2 times every time he passes it, and that time they aggressively tried to go for it with the run. Here's a squib kick shanked off the foot by Wormlinger. That's very uncharacteristic of Wormlinger, a very short punt. And North will take it over at the 34-yard line, and that kick was about 16 yards.
Oh, Bob, that just shows me that the Tigers are chicken to kick it to Kyle Kelso. Thorne told us earlier in the week that if the ball game was late, it was a close game, that they were going to kick it away from him. Fine. This is 0-0, and we just started the first quarter.
What probably happened was as you mentioned, Joe, they were going to kick it away from him, just kick it out of bounds, but as it happened, he hit it off the side of the foot, and it turned out to be a bad punt. Here's Mike Kinney. Here's the give. The first man through. That's Kelso. Check that. Matt Steyer on the carry instead, the fullback. And he gets about 6 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 situation.
Well, in that last game that these two played, North couldn't generate anything offensively. They weren't able to run the ball, and Kinney was forced to pass a lot in the second half.
And Central dominated that game, winning 35-7, 35-9, I should say, at home. But North is going to try to switch things up here. Full house backfield. Here's the give. Kelso left side, has some yardage, puts the head down before he's wrapped up at about the 47-yard line. It's going to be close to a first down, depending on the spot of the football.
And from our vantage point, it looks like a first down, and it is.
So the Falcons, on their first drive, pick up their first down. Central, on the other hand, on their first drive, could not get a first down, and well, they did after the completion to Dudek, but they had to punt the ball away. So the clock running with under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Wheaton North driving to have the ball at their own 46-yard line. Here's a loose ball. Kinney picks it up, and now he's going to bootleg it to the left side.
Got some room.
And he gets around Hess before he's taken down by Hess at about the 48-yard line. He gained actually, maybe about 3 yards, maybe 4 yards on that carry. And it was a broken play as the ball was loose. Joe, we've seen in the past that Kinney has had his problems with the exchange from center, and he had it right there again.
That's right. He did have an exchange, bad exchange from Matt Wines. And luckily, the ball popped right back into his hands, and he had some room on the sidelines to make a good gain out of it.
So after the spot of the football, they put it down at the 48-yard line in Central Territory, call it a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5, full house backfield again. Here's the give. Sean Beard this time off the left side, and he gets about a couple. So that will bring up about a 3rd and 3 situation.
Interesting call going to Sean Beard. Smaller back, quicker back, maybe tried to spring him for a quick hitter right up the middle, but the Tiger defensive line snuffed him out.
So it's going to be 3rd and 3, ball at the 46-yard line. Kinney brings his troops up to the line once again. T formation backfield. Here's the give. Off the right side, looks like it's going to be good enough for the first down as Kelso carries it for about 3 yards, and they'll move the sticks. Well, now let's see what they're going to do. They may bring the sticks out. It looks like it was a first down, but after the spot of the football, nope. Now they indicate it is the first down. The second one on the drive for the Falcons.
Kyle Kelso, the Falcon workhorse. They just keep feeding him the ball. He's just hungry for it, and they just keep giving it to him.
Well, so far this year, he has 126 carries for 673 yards. He's pulling off better than 5 yards a clip. He was very impressive in that first-round victory over Waubonsee Valley, getting 151 yards, including a 72-yard touchdown run and a 5-yard score. So here's the give. Steyer straight up the middle to the 40, and he gets another 3 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 situation.
Well, Coach Rex says that the offensive line hasn't been together the whole year. There's been an injury-plagued offensive line, people coming in, people coming out. Finally, against Glenbard West, he said that it looked like they started to gel. And from right now, it looks like they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
And there was even an earlier change, as we showed you earlier on our pregame show, that Vince Minetti was switched at the last second instead of Dave Richards, so they can't get that line healthy at all. But here's Kelso off the line for the big yardage. He got about 8 on that one. That should be another first down. So Kyle Kelso rips off about 8 yards on that carry, moving the sticks once again. Well, now they're going to spot the football close. It's going to be, they're going to need the measurement, it looks like. So they'll take a official's timeout on the field, bring the sticks out. It looks like he had the first down, but the spot wasn't very generous by the referees. So it's going to be close.
Well, even if they are short, I would have to say that the Falcons would go for it.
Well, it only bring up a 3rd and 1 situation, so I think they definitely go for it on that one. But that may be 4-down territory for North here. They know they have to move the football. They have to ball control and keep that powerful Central offense off there. You see the referee indicating it's Stan Brock, and he says it's about 6 inches short of the first down.
3rd and inches.
6 minutes and counting left to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Bob Erzik along with Joe Snydoff. Happy to have you here with us for this excellent Class 5A IHSA matchup. It's the second round. These two teams, bitter rivals. And it's now the T formation backfield. Here's the give. Steyer up the middle. He's going to be met by a host of tacklers, but it looks like he may have gotten the first down. Going off the right side. It's going to depend on the spot of the football, though, once again. From our vantage point, it looks like he got enough.
Just got enough with that second effort. Matt Steyer, the fullback.
And now they'll take another official's timeout. It's that close. And it really looked like he got positive yardage off that line of scrimmage. Once again, where you go and where the spot of the football are actually sometimes two different things. So the clock is frozen at 5:43, literally on this chilly day. Stand block indicates once again a first down for Wheaton North. That's their third on this drive. They took the football over at their own 34 after a shank punt off the foot of Mike Wormlinger. So the clock running once again. I formation backfield, a shift to the T. Here's to give Kelso left side, still on his feet, and he's taken down at about the 31-yard line. Some of the tacklers in down there are Chuck DeVito, as well as Marvell Scott.
But still a gain of 4. Central hasn't shown that they could nail anybody in the backfield.
And this is a totally different scenario than it was 8 days ago when that Central defense completely shut down North's offense. But as Coach Rex Ilias says, the worm turns, meaning that everyone gets a second chance no matter sooner or later, and this one is coming sooner. Here's Kelso right up the middle. He's met by a tackler right there. Doug Johnston, the first one in there, the junior, along with Chucky DeVito, and they stop him for no gain.
Well, Coach Rex went to the well too often on that one. I don't think anybody was biting on Kinney chopping back to pass. They handed it off to Kelso. And the front wall of the Tigers did a nice job stopping him for no gain.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 situation. Almost for sure a passing down for North. They only threw 7 passes against Glenbard West. Kinney completing 2 of those, both to Jimmy Rose, who is out of the game right now. And here's a play action. Kinney rolling. He's got pressure.
He might have Kelso.
And it's incomplete. Kelso got his hands on the football. However, there was some good defense down there from the cornerback, Mike Delgaldo, and it was tipped away at the last second. But Kelso got his hands on the football. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a great receiver.
It hit him right in the pads in the upper part of the body. Seen Kelso, I think that a lot of the linebackers for Wheaton Central were going after Mike Falwell, the tight end, Mike Faywell. And Kyle Kelso headed for the end zone. It's a nice call.
4th and 8 now, they're going for it. We talked a little bit about it earlier, that this was 4-down territory for North. They want to keep the football, control the clock. And the clock is frozen at 4:22. Running backs pro set. Kinney back to pass, has pressure, fires over the middle, incomplete. He had a man at the 20. He was looking for Scott Johnson, who was only getting his 2nd start of the year today after injuring his knee in the first game against Simeon. And he had Scott open, but he threw it over his head. So Central takes over on downs at its own 32.
Just a poor pass by Mike Kinney. Didn't follow through with it, and it came off a little high because Scott Johnson was open, and if he would have caught the pass, they would have had the first down.
Well, Kinney hasn't had as many opportunities to throw the football this year. He's only thrown it 107 times coming into this game for 675 yards. Those numbers way off from his totals his junior year, as North has relied a little bit more on the run this season. Here's Scott running left side, met by a host of tacklers, and he goes nowhere. Jason Schnack along with Vince Minetti in on the tackle. Kyle Ackerman also helping out. And it looks like he may have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
What a great job by the Falcons secondary. Steve Thomas, Brian Steyer, Jason Schnack. Coach Rex must have told them earlier in the week that we're going to stop these guys. We're going to stop the run. We better start making some hits in the backfield, or at least at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they did it that time, holding Scott to no yardage gained on that run. So 2nd and 10 now. Receivers out to the left, right side. Here's the pitch, Hess. He avoids one tackler in the backfield, still on his feet before being taken down at the 39-yard line, but not after he gained 8 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2 situation now.
They love the power sweep to Hess and Scott. Both runners very fast. There was one Falcon defender in the backfield, but couldn't get a hand on Hess, because Hess has some good speed, maybe not as quick as Scott, but he could scoot.
The last time these two teams met, Haas had a great day, rushing for 118 yards on just 13 carries, slashing through the middle on runs just like that last one. 3rd and 2. Here's Thorne on the option. Keeps it. He's going to be short. Great defensive play by North. And depending on the spot of the football, they're going to go right at the 40. It's going to be about 2 yards short. Great defense.
Matt Steyer and Jimmy Rose, the linebackers, plugging those holes. They need to put a 7-man and 8-man front up there. They have to force Thorne to throw, and that's what they're doing right now. And Coach John Thorne isn't doing it.
So Central now will be forced to punt on 4th and 2. Mike Wormlinger standing at his own 27-yard line. The snap, plenty of time. A low line drive kick. It's going right to Kelso, and he's going to let it bounce. Surprising, he had time to pick it up, but he let it go. And it will be down at the 26-yard line. So, in essence, that was a 34-yard punt for Wormlinger.
Well, it seemed like Wheaton Central was down there pretty quick. We're 0-0 in the first quarter. Special teams, Coach Thorne saying earlier in the week that he's going to put some of the regulars back in there, see if things work out against Kyle, because Kelso came through with an outstanding night the last time these two teams met.
And already by this time of the game, there are already 3 scores on the board, and right now this one's looking like a defensive struggle. Here's a give to the lone setback, Chris Leo out of the backfield, and he's going to gain about 4 yards on that carry. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6 situation.
Well, what Coach Rex is doing is using as many backs as he can. Kelso, Steyer, Leo, Beard. He's giving them all an opportunity to handle the ball so nobody gets tired. He's not wearing down Kyle Kelso. He's maybe saving him for the 4th quarter.
Clock running, under a minute and a half to go. First quarter, scoreless. Here's the pitch. Kelso with it off the right side. And he's still on his feet. He breaks the tackle. He may go. There is a penalty marker down, however. He's at the 30, 25. He's got Hess to beat, and he's taken down at the 15-yard line. That is a gain of 55 yards. However, a flag is sitting down at the 33-yard line.
Could be a face mask.
Let's see what the call is going to be.
No, Scott's pointing it's holding.
Oh, tough break for North. Big penalty. 55-yard gain erased by Kyle Kelso as he broke one tackle. However, the holding will bring it back, and all it's going to be is a 2nd and 16 situation. Let's take a look once again and see if we can maybe see where the holding took place.
Okay, they go to Kelso on a sweep. Let's see. Can't tell where it is, but when Kelso gets to that sideline, he can cruise, huh, Bob?
He got down there in a hurry. He's a tremendous player, both on offense, defense, special teams. He runs back the football extremely well. As a matter of fact, the last time these two teams played, he took the opening kickoff home for 93 yards and a touchdown, giving North the early lead. Then he returned a punt later on for 64 yards. So Kelso, anytime he touches the football, is extremely dangerous. Running backs, pro set formation, receivers out left side. Here's a draw. It's Steyer up the middle. Keeps his feet to about the 21-yard line. Check that to 31 instead. It's a 7-yard gain. We'll call it a 3rd and 6 situation after the run.
Well, so far we haven't seen Kinney put it up too much. Just a couple times. And he overshot them both.
Here's the pitch. Here's Kelso again. Near side, taken out of bounds, 35-yard line. Host of tacklers down there, DeVito, as well as Delgaldo, and the linebacker Stan Crow gets up to the 35-yard line, a gain of 4 yards. It'll bring up a 4th and 1 situation, and this is definitely not 4-down territory.
No, they're very close, though.
Boy, if Coach Rex decides to go for it here, it'll be an extremely gutsy call. This is the 26th playoff game in the history of Wheaton North High School, and they are 20-5 in that time span. So obviously this team has experience. Coach Rex on the sideline, 3 state titles to his credit. 1979, this is the 10-year anniversary from this first one. One in 1981, as well as one in 1986. So the chain gang coming on. Mike Kinney, the quarterback, hoping that his team got enough for that one, but It's going to be, oh, they're going to call it maybe
About a yard.
about a yard, possibly 2.5 feet. So it looks like they probably will send the punting team out there. Yeah, Jason Schnack is out there, their punter. So Wheaton North will have to give the ball over, unless a fake.
Never know. Like Coach Thorne was saying, it's just going to take one big play in this kind of game to break everything open. Whoever gets that first break, Bob, looks like they'll be in command.
And early indications show that this is probably going to be a defensive struggle. Both the teams have very good defenses, as we mentioned on our pregame show. The Falcons giving up about 10.5 points a contest. On the other hand, Central giving up only 9 points a game.
Very underrated defense, Wheaton Central.
Schnack standing at his own 21-yard line. Line of scrimmage is at the 35. Here's the snap. There's some pressure, and it's a good high kick. Jeff Thorne, the quarterback, waiting for it. Grabs it at his own 16. He goes to the
Oh, what a block!
Great block. Thorne might turn the corner, and he's going to be finally met at about the 27-yard line. Tommy Garcia, one of the special teams players for North, is shaking his head out there. He's going to have to knock the cobwebs out of that one. He was blasted. We're going to take a look at that one again, hopefully. You can maybe see who actually hit him and just knocked Garcia. Let's take a look at it one more time.
High boot by Schnack. Good snap. Rush was on, but it's high, and it gives the Falcons time to get down. Thorne takes it to the outside. We couldn't pick it up.
Saw the hit, though. It was a big hit. But that ends the quarter. That ends the quarter here. Good defensive battle. We are scoreless. 0-0. We'll be back with second quarter action on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week. Falcons field. We have a scoreless ball game. It's early on in the second quarter. We're getting ready for the first play. Wheaton Central has the football after the punt. They have it on their own 27-yard line. It's a defensive struggle up to this point. A nice day in Wheaton. It's kind of crisp and cool. The wind blowing at about 25 miles per hour with temperatures in the low 40s. However, it's in total contrast to last year's game where it was raining. The field was completely muddy as North won that one 19-13 between these two teams. But Jeff Thorne, the quarterback, gives it to the first man through. David Shutters, he gets up to about the 29, possibly the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 situation.
And on that play there, Bob, I was trying to look to see what the secondary people were doing. There were only 2 people back there, Steyer, Thomas. Wormlinger and Chris Dudek were wide open about 10 yards down. There's really stuff in that line.
They can't leave Wormlinger open, the tight end, because he's a big play guy. Caught a 74-yarder against Wabansie Valley. Here's the bomb, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended out there for Dudek. Kelso on the coverage at about the 30-yard line. Blanket coverage by Kyle Kelso.
Well, it's best against best, speed versus speed. Dudek, their big main threat on offense versus Kyle Kelso. And it was just, they were just going down that sideline toe-to-toe, blanket coverage, Bob, just like you said.
And it's 3rd and 8 now after the incomplete pass. Obviously another passing situation for Thorne. This is definitely not what happened in the last time these two teams matched up, as Central was able to run the football. However, they've had their problems today. So Thorne barks out the signals. He has receivers draped to the left and right. That's Swanson and Dudek, running backs in the pro set backfield. Wormlinger, tight end on the wing. He lost the timing pattern. Scott Dudek, he almost made a great catch at the 50, but it went right off his fingertips. So that'll bring up a 4th down, and Central will have to punt.
Well, Kelso laid off him that time. Didn't think maybe he was going to go to Dudek again. But they faked him out. It was a nice call by Thorne. Found him in the flat, right between Kelso and the strong safety, and he just overshot him.
Was a decent pass, but just a twitch out of the reach of Dudek.
Both quarterbacks not throwing the ball lately so well.
And of course, we have to mention that it's quite windy out there. Winds gusting at about 25 miles per hour as Wormlinger gets a nice high boot off. Ball hits at about the 27, goes over Kelso's head, and he's going to try to pick it up. He fumbles the football. It's still loose. And he is down at about the 3-inch line. Wow, what a change of circumstances. But now there's a penalty on Wheaton Central, so all of that is going to come back, it looks like. Tough break for the Tigers, a illegal procedure. So you know North has to take that penalty after the ball was down at about the 3-inch line. Tough break for Central.
Tough break, and this is a game when we get into the second round, this is where the breaks come. Who gets the breaks?
And it looked like Central got the break on that one, Joe, as it bounced a high bounce like if it was AstroTurf out there over Kelso's head. But you look in the box score and you'll see a 5-yard penalty, but it won't tell the story that the ball would have been on the 3-inch line.
I don't know what Kelso was doing going after the ball anyway, Bob. Looked like the ball had enough momentum going on it where it would have rolled into the end zone and brought it back out to the 20. That was sort of a foolish play on Kyle Kelso.
Well, he tried to salvage his first mistake, and he almost caused another one. But it all comes back, and Central will punt again, this time from its own 25. So here's Wormlinger's boot. A lower kick. Kelso will take it at his own 32. Waits for his wall to set up. Veers toward the near side. Cuts it back before getting up to the 45-yard line before he is taken down. And that's going to be great field position for Wheaton North. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Tyler Clemens, one of the first tacklers in there for Wheaton Central.
Well, that's got to give the Tigers special teams a lift because the last time these two teams met, Kelso ran one for 93 and then another for 45, so it's got to give them a little bit of a lift.
Both defenses have tightened up compared to last game, but we should give credit to that Central defense. They were strong last game as well. Here's the give. Kelso, right side, has yardage. He may bust it. One man to beat. Shutters. He's at the 30, 25, taken down at the 20-yard line. Big run from Kyle Kelso as that one goes for 30 yards. Check it, 35 yards after the spot of the football. 1st and 10. Great field position for the Falcons.
Great run by Kyle Kelso. We've seen the speed, how quick this guy gets up to the line. That's where it counts, getting to the line, then finding the holes. Once you get over those two obstacles, you're gone. Kelso was gone on that play.
35 yards later, Wheaton North takes over 1st and 10 at the Falcons, I should say at the Tigers' 20-yard line. Here's the give, up the middle, Beard taken down at about the 17-yard line. Gain of 3 yards. Let's look at Kelso. Bust that one off the right side for the big 35-yard gain.
Oh, just a quick hitter. They faked to Beard going up the middle, which drew a few linemen, and he was just off to the races. David Shutters drags him down, but Kelso got an extra 10 on that play.
A free safety making the touchdown saving tackle. Running back, Powerai. Switch to the pro set. Rose. Slot back left side. Here's the give. Kelso right side again. This time he's met by Kroll. And he gets to about the 16-yard line, just back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd and 6 situation now.
Well, he had Scott Johnson and Jimmy Rose on the left-hand side trying to overload the left-hand side. But Wheaton Central wouldn't fall for it. They met Kelso for about a 1-yard gain.
Good penetration by Kroll from the linebacker spot. Strung that one out, and he ended up making the tackle as well. So it's a 3rd and 5 now at the 15-yard line. They're going to say he gained a yard on that one after the spot of the football. Backfield shifts into one man. In motion near side, Kelso. And now it looks like there may be a delay of game penalty. Sure enough, they'll push it back 5 yards, and that will hurt North. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10 situation now from the 20.
And it didn't really seem like Wheaton North took that much time at the line. Unlike I was thinking on the first play when Thorne was barking out the signals, and it seemed like that was longer.
Well, either way, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Almost assuredly a passing down here, unless North plans on going for it on 4th down, which they probably will, although Jason Schnack, their kicker, booted a 30-yarder in this game last week. Here's the blitz. It's a screen. Steyer has it. He's at the 20. Taken out of bounds at the 15-yard line. It'll be maybe a yard gain. It's going to depend on the spot of the football. They're going to say he got to about maybe the 14, the nose of the football down there. So it'll bring up a 4th down and about 5 yards to go for the 1st down. We'll have to see if Coach Rex goes for it.
Nice call with the screen to Steyer. We've seen it before. It usually produces a lot of yardage.
fairly slow developing play, though, Joe. I mean, it took him a while before Kinney really went back a long way before he released the football. By that time, I think Central had a chance to recover. So now the Falcons will call a timeout and contemplate ideas here, whether to kick the field goal or else go for the touchdown here. But the key right now, Joe Snydoff, has to be that this Wheaton North offense has controlled the football on the ground, and they have moved it a little bit in the air as well. But the thing is, they are moving time off the clock.
And that's exactly right. They're keeping the Tiger offense off the field. And it's explosive, as they well know. They put 35 points up on you. So they're following their game plan. Coach Rex had a game plan, running Kelso, running Steyer, running Beard, running Leo. I mean, he's running everybody, and they're doing a great job. The offensive line is doing a great job. And he also mentioned that that this club is going to go as far as the offensive line takes it. And that's Wines, Kroger, Quinn, Richards, and Nicholson. And they're doing a fantastic job this afternoon.
And the complexion of this ball game as opposed to the one just 8 days ago is just completely different. And that Wheaton Central was able to move the football on the ground. They mixed it up well with their pass, while North was just stagnant on offense all night long. Their defense wasn't making the tackles, but today it's just the opposite. North is moving the football well, and they are making the tackles also on defense as they go for it. 4th and 4 situation, ball at the 15-yard line. Big play here. Here's the pitch. Kelso, it's an option pass.
Got him.
He's got a man open in the end zone. Tipped away at the last second. Billy Hess making a big play from the cornerback spot. They were looking for Scott Johnson, and it looked like they had him. However, Kelso's pass hung in the air a little too long, and Hess knocked it away. So Central takes over on downs.
Just like the screen, Bob, that you mentioned, it was slow developing. Kelso, once he got it, bam, shoot it off. You know what I mean? Let it fly. Because he had Scott Johnson. He beat everybody.
It was a nice play call, Joe, but you hit it right on the head. It took too long to develop. If Kelso could have got rid of it right away, he probably would have had Johnson.
Taking a page out of the Cleveland Browns.
1st and 10, 8.5 minutes to go, first half. Ball on a 15-yard line. Central, here's the pitch. Scott left side out of the fullback spot. He gets up to about the 19-yard line. Gain of 4 yards. Let's call it a 2nd and 6 situation. Let's see how that play developed. That last one, the option pass, in which the ball was swatted away at the last second by Billy Hess.
Well, the Tiger DBs weren't playing that aggressive. They weren't going for the line of scrimmage. There's Hess, makes that incredible leap to knock the ball away from Scott Johnson. Big play by Billy Hess.
And another thing that helped out the Central defense was that once Kelso got the ball, he veered backwards, and that gave it away right away. If he could have kept along, possibly along the same plane, it may have given him a fraction of a second extra time. But now Shutters takes it up the middle to about the 36-yard line. I should say the 26, and that will be good enough for a first down.
And I think that play just fired up Central. Interesting play there too. 4th and 4. You could put, you know, Schnack can hit it from that distance. We've seen it. We've seen him already make a lot of boots. Whereas Wheaton Central, Rich Sampson and some of their kickers aren't so accurate. So you got to force them really to beat you with a touchdown.
Well, that would have been about a 31, 32-yarder, and Schnack kicked a 30-yarder last time these two teams met. So back to pass, 1st and 10. Thorne timing pattern. He's got a man, but he overthrows Swanson at the 45-yard line. Glove-like coverage out there from the sophomore, Ryan Steyer, and there's a flag on the field. And let's see who it's going to go against. Referee Stan Block will make the indication.
It looks like it could go against the Falcons.
The illegal use of hands. And that'll move it up 5 yards. We'll bring up a 1st and 5 situation now.
First and 5, Wheaton Central, they've been running the ball lately. You could expect to see a few runs here. 1st and 10.
Check that now. They said it's a 10-yard penalty now. They couldn't make up their minds out there. The running backs in the pro set, receivers out near side. Here's the give. Scott left side, has a hole, still on his feet, taken down at the 41-yard line, but he picks up 5 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 5 situation.
Scott is starting to assert himself. They're starting to really march the running game. going with Jamie Moss, Doug Johnston, Chuck DeVito, Jeff Mametti, and John Moyaki.
And up to this point, Central has only thrown the football 4 times, as they have relied more so on the run in the past few weeks going into the playoffs here. So look for them to put the football in the air as well, though. Here it is. 3-step drop, fires on the middle. There's Hess. Got the 47, avoids one tackler, but a good play by Jimmy Rose to hang on to the ankle. And as it turns out, that ends up being a short gain. It'll bring up about a 3rd and less than a yard.
Well, Hess decided to do one of those moves, spin move, and try and head back, elude the tackler, and then head upfield. And sometimes it's just better off to catch the ball and head for the sidelines where you have a little more running room.
And he would have had a first down if he did that. But instead now Central looks like it's going to be facing a 3rd and inches. Unless they get it here. Chain gang coming out. And we'll have to see how close it actually is. If you're just joining us, 6:26 to go in the first half. We are scoreless here. Wheaton Central and Wheaton North, and the Tigers get the first down. All right, they'll move the chain gang. And Central starts to move the football. This is probably their best drive so far of the afternoon. They haven't had the football very much, as North has done a good job of ball control on its offense. Running backs in the pro set formation, receivers out left and right. Thorne barks out the signals. Here's the give. Left side, Scott tries to turn the corner. He does. He's got some yardage. He's at the 40, 35, 30. He may be gone. 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Marvell Scott. 45 yards. Marvell Scott goes into the end zone untouched. Steve Thomas from the cornerback spot was the last one who had a chance, but Marvell turned on that 4-6 speed, and he is gone. Central leading 6-0.
And speed is what kills the Falcons, because they just don't have enough of it at the line of scrimmage. They have some in the secondary with Kelso, but we've seen an orange and white blur on the sidelines. Let's take a look at that one again.
I'll tell you, Joe, when he first got the football, I knew he was going to turn the corner, but I had no idea he was going to rip it through for the touchdown. Watch the afterburn. Boom! See you later. Kelso smoked right around him, and Thomas isn't going to get him either. Wow, great speed. So it's 6-0. Coach Thorne told us that that tremendous speed Scott has, it takes him a while to get into that second gear, and he showed it there. As it looked like he was going to turn the corner, but nobody thought that he was going to go all the way, and sure enough, he put on the Jets, and he is gone. 45-yard touchdown, and it's 6-0 Central. And now Central. Now there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Central, so that's going to hurt him. It's going to put the football, the spot of the football for the extra point kick at the 25-yard line instead of the 10. And that's definitely not what Central needs right now, because they are struggling at the kicker spot. Their normal kicker, Rich Sampson, hurt his back while trying to move some furniture. His family was doing a little moving from their house, and he hurt his back moving some furniture. So now they will have Peach, the junior, kicking over there. That's Andy Peach, and he missed a couple of extra points against Waubonsee Valley as well. And I guess they're going to go with Sampson out there. They had Peach out there, number 9, so they're going to go with Sampson instead. Holding his back, as you can see, and now he kicks it up, and it is good. Rich Sampson holding his back, lower back, as he kicks it through the uprights. That was the equivalent of a 35-yard field goal as the extra point. So it's 7-0, Tigers on top.
And the ball could have went 45 yards. I don't know what he picked up, what piece of furniture. Maybe it was just a lamp or something, not a dresser drawer or anything like that. But the back was no problem on that kick because he booted it with a ton of leg.
Well, what hurts when you're a kicker and you've got a back problem is when you follow through the swing of the leg. That's what causes the problem. You saw Sampson holding the right side of his lower back as he followed through. Boy, he had some lead in that foot as he just boomed that one. As Central leads at 7-0, and they will kick it off from the 40-yard line. As the wind is gusting up with 6:10 to go in a half here. Happy to have you with you as Central strikes first. 45-yard touchdown run by Marvell Scott off the left side. And that is the difference up to this point. So here's the boot. Low end over end kick. It's going to go out of bounds for a 5-yard penalty. It's number 30 kicking out there for Wheaton Central. He is not listed in our roster, so we are not exactly sure who that is at this point. But he is kicking off for Sampson. It may be one of the JV players that was brought up specifically for this game, but we do not have his name listed. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and he will have to boot right now from the 35. We'll try to get you the name of that Tiger kicker later on in the broadcast. 6:10, clock is frozen. Central on top, 7-zip. Marvell Scott ripping off 45 yards for the TD, and that's where we stand right now. Good defensive struggle from both teams. Central hasn't had the football often this afternoon, as North has done a tremendous job of ball control. Here's a squibber, taken up by Faywell, juggles it at the 30, still on his feet. He's going to cut it back to the middle. Still on his feet, breaks a couple tackles up to the 42-yard line. So Mike Faywell, the tight end on offense, one of the upbacks, picked it up and did a good job of running it back.
He did a good job. It almost looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but he stepped back a few steps and then headed it up the middle for about an extra 5 or 7 yards.
So North continues to have very good field position today. That has helped them in their offense, as they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go in the first half, 7-zip. Central on top of North. Kinney, the quarterback, T-formation backfield. Here's Kelso up the middle. Breaks one tackle, gets up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6 situation.
Nice run by Kelso, and I'm just going over in my mind, I think in a big game like this when like Coach Rex had the ball at about the 15, 17-yard line, I think when you have an opportunity to take points, you should grab them. You know what I mean? Early on, you have to take the points.
Got to give Coach Rex, though, the benefit of the doubt. The man has been coaching here in Wheaton 21 years, 148 wins under his belt, including 20 victories in the playoffs. Here's Kelso left side, gets it up to the 50. So he picks up another 5. Good chunk there. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, we'll see how the offensive line responds after Wheaton Central scored that big touchdown. Because in a close game like this, can't get too far behind because the magnitude is too great.
3rd and 1. Here's the give. Beard, left side's going to be met in the backfield. Breaks the tackle, breaks another man. Still on his feet to about the 42-yard line before being thrown to the turf by Stan Kroll, the linebacker. And he broke a tackle from Billy Hess coming up from the cornerback spot at the 50. And you won't see Hess miss tackles like that very often.
What a nice run by Sean Beard. Just a ton of arm checks to the face. Stiff arms.
The old stiff arm helped him pick up some extra yardage there.
Threw about 3 or 4 of them.
He ended up gaining about 12. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for North. They switch out of the full house backfield to the pro set receivers, 2 of them to the right side. Kinney almost loses the football. Kelso holds on though. Gets it to the 35. He picks up 4. Bring up a 2nd and 6 now. Clock running. 4:15 to go first half. Wheaton North driving, trying to tie up this game at least, because there is no tomorrow for the loser. The winner of this game will face the winner of the Rockford-Jefferson-Belvedere matchup. Belvedere, the Bucks, the team that ousted Wheaton North last year in the playoffs. Here's the pitch. Kelso dancing to about the 34-yard line. May have gotten a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5, though.
Big hit by Marvell Scott. What a game this gentleman's having. 45-yard touchdown run, and then he sticks Kelso for no gain.
Well, Scott does it on both sides of the football, running out of the fullback position with halfback speed, as you saw. And he also does it on defense from the strong safety spot, coming up and containing, as you just witnessed him, as he stopped Kelso for a 1-yard gain. High formation backfield, 3rd and 5 from the 35. Kinney back to pass, has time. He's going to scramble, has pressure, gets rid of it, and he's going to just throw it away. Threw it out of the end zone. Smart play by Kinney. Didn't have anybody out there. That's an excellent coverage situation from Wheaton Central secondary. It'll bring up 4th and 5 from the 35. We'll have to see what Coach Rex decides to do here, and he's going to punt it as the team comes on.
Well, you have to try and pin him in. Going to try and pin him inside the 10. See if they could use the timeouts. I think there's about 3:10 left on the clock. Plenty of time to get the ball back.
So Jason Schnack, he averaged 39 punts. I should say 39 yards a punt in the first round against Glenbard West. And he's on right now. Here's the boot. It's a squibber. It's going to go out of bounds. And no, maybe not. It's going to be down right there. Steve Thomas on the suicide squad downs it at the 11-yard line. So it ends up being a 24-yard kick. However, it's a much better kick than a normal 24-yarder because there was no return, and it pins Central at its own 11.
And I think that was a good play by Steve Thomas, downing it right there. It hit the turf. Some people thought that maybe you could have let it go and maybe roll out at the 1 or 2, but then it could have took a Tiger bounce.
Either way, it'll be 1st and 10, under 3 minutes to go in the half. Thorne barks out the signals. He gives to his man running back that's Hess still on his feet. Keeps his feet to about the 17-yard line, a pickup of 6. It'll bring up a 2nd and 4. Good situation for Wheaton Central.
That's got 4, and we're looking at about, what, 2:24 on the clock. Probably stop him. If they can stop him right here, I believe they'll call a timeout.
Lone setback in the backfield is the fullback, Marvell Scott. Receivers in the slot left as well as right. Thorne gives it on the draw, and this time Scott still breaks another tackle. Avoids Minetti, but Minetti still hanging on for dear life. And Scott gets it up to about the 27, a gain of 11 yards. And Marvell just showed his tremendous strength there as they could not bring him down, and his elusiveness as well.
What a great sidestep by Scott, fooling Minetti. Vince had an ankle, Scott's ankle, but still Scott, strong as he is, gets out of it and gains and lunges for about another 4.
He's tough to bring down. Receivers left and right, Shutters the lone setback. The give is to David. He goes right up the middle. He's stood up by a few tacklers there. One of them being Andy Nicholson. Big 240-pound tackle as Central calls a timeout. With 1:31 left to go in the first half, the Tigers on top of the Falcons at Falcon Field, 7-zip. Been a defensive struggle at this point. Both teams playing ball control. Central's offense hasn't been out there very much this afternoon, Joe. Got to credit North's offense for that.
Offensive line doing a good job keeping the ball on the ground. They were deep into Tiger territory and came up empty. Billy Hess on a nice play off the option from Kelso. Kelso trying to hit Scotty Johnson.
And the difference in this one is the big play potential that Wheaton Central holds. As you give the ball to Marvell Scott, and boom, he is gone like lightning 45 yards later. And he's into the end zone. As this crosstown rivalry is heating up. Falcons Field packed.
And you mentioned big play potential, Bob. And Wheaton Central, yes, they do have more weapons than the Falcons. The Falcons, you know, have Kyle Kelso. That's been their main man all year. But when you look at Wheaton, they got Dudek, Wormlinger, Scott, Shutters, Hess. They can all score at any time.
And don't forget Mr. Jeff Thorne, their quarterback, who has thrown 25 touchdown passes this year. He's back to pass this time. Rose on the blitz. Heavy pressure. Thorne dumps it. Scott with the catch at the 25. Still on his feet. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 37. So he picks up 8 yards and stops the clock at 1:20 by going out of bounds.
Well, nice play. Thorne was under a lot of heat, but still showed his cool. Didn't just throw it out of bounds like, you know, probably most quarterbacks would. Found Scott. They're at around the 40 with a minute 20 left, 2 timeouts, plenty of time. They're going for more.
Got to remember, though, they have that kicking problem, but you saw Sampson kick that extra point, which would have been the equivalent of a 35-yard field goal, you never would have thought it. He's got a back problem, but he really boot that one. Here's Shutters, left side, has room, still on his feet, penalty marker down. He's in Central territory, but when a flag goes down right over there, right around the offensive line, more times than not, it's holding. Let's see what the call is. Sure enough, holding against Central. That will negate that play and bring the ball back 10 more yards.
Well, a couple breaks going the Falcons' way. Holding call on Wheaton Central will negate a good run by David Shutters.
1:14 to go, ball on the 31-yard line. Brings up a 1st and 20 situation now. Central has a long way to go to score. Let's see if they try to put more points on the board or just take it into the locker room with a 7-point lead. Running backs, pro set. Thorne back to pass, looks like a screen. It is, it's overthrown out of bounds. There's nothing there. Thorne showed some poise. The senior quarterback threw it out of bounds where nobody could pick it off. So let's call it now 2nd and 20. Ball on the 32-yard line.
Steve Thomas and Kyle Kelso on the coverage for the Falcons, doing a nice job. They were right on the receivers, man for man.
So a smart play by Jeff Thorne as he threw the ball away, as there was good coverage out there from Wheaton North. 2nd and 20 situation. Here's the pitch. Scott has room, left side, still on his feet. Gets up to about the 38-yard line, a gain of 6. 3rd and 14 now.
And it looks like after that penalty against Wheaton Central, the holding call, the Tigers will just be happy to run the clock out.
Clock is running, under a half a minute to go. 7-0, Central leading North in this low-scoring affair. This is what we expected in the last matchup. However, Central blew out North 35-9. Here's Hess taken down in the backfield. Nice play by Steyer as he shot through the gap and caught Hess in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards. And now North takes a timeout. And Joe Snydoff, it looks like with just 2 seconds left, what they want to try to do is set up a return here for Kyle Kelso. But if Central is smart, which they are, they'll probably try to boot the ball out of bounds or somehow kick it away from Kyle.
Sure, there's no way they're going to put it in Kyle Kelso's hands right now. Let something go wrong, they'll just kick it out of bounds.
Well, they're either going to try to set up for a return for Kelso in all likelihood, or else they're going to go with the kitchen sink trying to block the punt and have nobody back. But I would tend to think they will try to set it up for Kelso, as Coach Thorne believes that anytime Kyle is out there receiving a punt or a kickoff, that special teams unit of the Falcons gets extra fired up because they know Kelso can return it any time he puts his hands on the football. So in all likelihood, they will set up a wall trying to get Kelso some yardage.
I don't see how he'll get the ball, because I don't think there's no way he'll even see it. And one thing we were mentioning about that big play potential, whereas Wheaton North doesn't have any with only Kelso, they're going to be going with the wind the next half. So we'll see if Kinney opens it up with the air with Scotty Johnson and Tommy Garcia.
And now Central at the last second has decided, instead of punting, good play call, that they will just run out the clock with 2 seconds left. Thorne back to pass. This is surprising. He should just go down to one knee, and he completes it at the 45-yard line to Billy Hess. It's actually a gain of 9 yards, and that will end the first half, but that was kind of surprising. Kind of a dangerous call.
I was just going to say, very dangerous. What happens if, that ball gets picked off? The Falcons' secondary man is, headed for a beeline for pay dirt.
What I thought was going to happen was Thorne going back for the pass and just kneeling down to end the half, but he ended up throwing it, getting a 9-yard gain for Wheaton Central, as the Tigers lead it at halftime right here at Falcons Field, 7-0. We'll be back with second half action shortly on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week. we are getting ready for second half action here. This is Bob Urzik alongside Joe Snydoff. We have a 7-0 score. Tigers on top of the Falcons. Right now we are waiting for Wheaton Central. There you see their first two players coming out on the field, as they better hurry up out here, else they're going to get a delay of game penalty.
We got one.
And sure enough, they did. The flag has been dropped at midfield, so a delay of game penalty is being charged to Wheaton Central to open the second half, as they were late to get on the field here. But just one highlight from that first half, Joe Snydoff, the touchdown coming from Marvell Scott.
Yes, at 6:10 in the second quarter, Marvell Scott, a 45-yard run. The Sampson kick was good. It was a penalty on the play, and Sampson made the kick to make it 7-0.
And the thing that extremely impressed me about that run, Joe, hopefully we can come up and show you the highlight of that, was that Scott, when he busted around the left side, it looked like he was going to get around the corner maybe for 10, possibly 15 yards. We'll show you here. Watch the tremendous speed. Here he is slowly getting it. Looks like he's just going to get a few there. Now watch. Boom. Look at the speed as he rips by Kelso, a guy who's known for good speed, and then he goes by the cornerback, Thomas, too. 45 yards later, Marvell Scott all happy into the end zone as Central grabbed a 7-0 lead. There you see the rundown of the scoring. There was none in the first quarter, but in the second quarter at the 6:10 mark, Wheaton Central's Marvell Scott busting around the left side. You just saw the highlight for 45 yards and the touchdown, and that's the score up to this point, 7-0. Just over a week ago when these two teams met at Central High School, it was 21-9. 30 points scored in the first half of that game, a very offensive battle. But this one, Joe Snydoff, a big defensive struggle, as both the defensive teams of North and Central have shown that they are very capable of playing some good defense, as they have the entire year.
Oh yeah, and the stats typify that, Bob. Total yardage for Wheaton Central, 122 yards. For the Falcons, 90 yards. Let's break it down. Mike Kinney was 1 for 4 for 5 yards. Coach Rex saying that sometimes we don't need our quarterback to pass. Coach Rex, you need Kinney to pass in the second half. For the rushing, it's just been Kyle Kelso, the workhorse, the Wheaton North workhorse. 11 carries for 50 yards. Matt Steyer, 2 carries for 7 yards. Chris Leo, 1 for 4. Kinney, 1 for 5. Sean Beard looked very impressive. 3 carries for 19 yards. For Wheaton Central, Johnny Thorne, Jeff Thorne, 2 of 6 for 28 yards. Not bad. For the runners, Billy Hess, 1 for 6. He hasn't seen the ball much. They've been giving it to Marvell Scott. They've been taking advantage of the speed. 8 carries for 81 yards. That 45-yard scamper into the end zone, the big one. Dave Shutters, 2 carries for 7 yards. Jeff carried it once for 2 yards. That totaled up 122 yards. So the stats, 122-90.
So it's definitely been a closely contested first half, as you saw the Falcon as well as Central fans going to get some hot chocolate. It's a chilly one here at Falcons Field. The temperature is in the low 40s, winds gusting at about 25 miles per hour, so the blankets and stocking caps are out for this one. Luckily, this game completely different as opposed to last year's matchup in the quarterfinals, weather-wise, as there was a rain-stricken ball game. There was mud all over the place. Central committed 7 turnovers in that game and ended up losing 19-13. That losing streak going on for Central before last week, where the Tigers finally broke it. It went over a span of time of 5 years and 6 games, but Central broke it last week with a 35-9 victory. And right now they are leading as second half action is getting ready to get underway. They are up on top 7-0 right now. Of course, the winner of this game will go on the road to play either Belvedere or Rockford Jefferson, depending on who wins that football game. But we are ready for the opening kickoff. Once again, just a reminder, a penalty has been assessed to Wheaton Central for coming out late for the second half kickoff. They were late as the clock went down to 0. They were not anywhere to be found on the field, so they will have a penalty assessed to them. That's a delay of game. It's actually a 15-yard penalty, and North will kick it off from the 45-yard line in Wheaton Central territory, and if they don't get a touchback on this one, bring out the FBI.
They were messing with Wheaton North, trying to mess their minds up a little bit, trying, say, where are these guys? It's 7-0. We're the ones that should be coming out a little later.
So they will kick it off from the 45-yard line with the wind at North's back. Here's a high end-over-end kick. Sure enough, out of the end zone, Wheaton Central will take it through from their own 20-yard line. That one was kicked right through the uprights. That would have been a nice field goal. But,
well, if Coach Rex would have took the other field goal, we might have a one-point contest here.
Right now it's 7-0. And there is no time went off the clock, of course. You have to touch the football on the kickoff return before that clock will be moved. The wind is gusting up. It will be blowing in the faces of this Wheaton Central offense as Jeff Thorne brings it up to the line of scrimmage. Receivers out to the left side. Running backs pro set. Barking out the signals. Here's the give. Here's Scott breaking off the left side. Puts a nice juke move around one man before being taken down at the 26 by the sophomore, Brian Steyer, the cornerback, but not until he gains 6 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 4 situation.
And Coach Rex said that the linebackers in the secondary have to start attacking defensively, not waiting like I seen Steyer did there, because Scott has too much speed to break it either inside or outside. Go right after him. Tackle him right away in the backfield.
And he put on a great move to pick up that extra yardage as it is now 2nd and 4. Thorne back to pass. The whistles blow, and that may be a delay of game penalty. Instead, it's going to be illegal motion. So now it's going to make it 2nd and 9, and that will almost nullify that nice run by Marvell Scott. It will go into the record books, of course, but it'll bring up a 2nd and 9 situation. But let's look at it again, see if we can actually catch the penalty where there was some illegal motion going on. And it looked like there may have been some early movement off the left side of the line. One of the guards moving. We didn't catch the number, but it may have been just a fraction of a second before the ball was actually snapped by Thorne. So call it 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line in Wheaton Central territory early on 3rd quarter. Jeff Thorne back to pass. Instead gives a draw play to Scott. Another penalty marker down as he is taken down by Matt Steyer, the brother of Brian Steyer, who made the last tackle. And it looks like that will be holding against Wheaton Central. That seems to be the early indication. Let's see what the referee, Stan Block, has to say. Sure enough, they'll push it back another 10 yards, I guess, unless North decides to decline the penalty. We'll have to see what they decide to do. They haven't made a decision yet.
Well, it depends on if Wheaton North wants to play field position football, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
So instead of taking the down, they will push it back all the way to the 9-yard line. And that will bring up about a 2nd and about 21 yards to go for Central. Definitely a passing down. Let's see what happens. Running backs, pro set formation. Here's the give. Hess, right side, taken down right away in the backfield. Jimmy Rose over there, along with Sean Beard off the line.
And Andy Nicholson.
It's going to bring up 3rd and just about a country mile of about over 20 yards to go for the first down.
Andy Nicholson did a nice job tripping up Billy Hess on the power sweep.
So about 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Central facing a 3rd and 24 from its own 11. And in all likelihood, they will probably play it safe here. But you never know. Yep, they give it. It's a quick dive off the left side to Hess, and he gains maybe a couple. And that's going to bring up a punting situation. Mike Wormlinger and the rest of the punting team on for Wheaton Central.
And you know, you got to wonder, Bob, if this Wheaton Central staying in the locker room for a half hour, 45 minutes, you got to wonder if that's going to backfire on them. The Falcons were out there jumping around, getting their game faces on.
The Falcons do look like they're fired up as Kyle Kelso standing at Central's 40-yard line. Here's the boot, a low line drive kick, and Kelso fields it at about the 43. He's going to veer to the near side and go up the middle, and it's good coverage. He only gets to the 39, so only actually about a 4-yard gain on that one. The tackle made by number 53, Brad Pearl.
Well, Kelso took his time, tried to find a little hole. Tigers did a nice job on the special teams, staying in their lanes. But this is the 3rd quarter. The wind is behind Kelso. You have to take advantage of this gusty gale.
It seems like a momentum swing has occurred here for Wheaton North. They haven't really moved the ball yet this half. They've got great field position. The fans getting fired up, and here's a complete pass to Jimmy Rose. As Kinney was rolling, he found Rose at the 31, good for 8 yards. Kinney completed just 2 passes against Waubonsie Valley in the first round of the playoffs, both those caught by Rose. And now Jimmy makes the catch here.
And right away, Kinney drops back to pass. Like to feel the wind blowing behind you. Like to feel the wind at the back of your neck.
2nd and 3. Now another bad snap. Early movement. It'll probably be a legal procedure, as once again, North just continues to have trouble with that from center to quarterback exchange. We've seen it twice here tonight. We saw them have some problems last week against Central, and they actually had 3 fumbles against Glenbard North a few weeks before that. So I don't know what the problem is between center and quarterback, Wines and Kinney, but they just continue to struggle on that exchange as they are right now are called for a 5-yard illegal procedure penalty. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 at the 36.
It might be on pass plays where they get mixed up.
Running backs, pro set, receivers out to the left side. That's Rose and Garcia. Kinney back to pass, straight drop, plenty of time. Has a man over the middle, it's caught. And no, it's incomplete. Scott Johnson dropped the football, they say. So it's incomplete. Instead, that was Aaron Moore who the pass was intended for. He's a senior, doesn't get much playing time, was in on that occasion. However, he could not hold on to the football.
Well, the Falcons are going to have to let it fly here. 3rd and 7 at the 36.
Maybe 2 downfield, though. You got to remember for Coach Rex. Running backs in the pro set. Scott Johnson, receiver left side. Here's Kinney, being rushed. He's going to be sacked. Gets rid of it, up for grabs. It's almost intercepted. Garcia got his paws on the football at about the 20. As Kinney was going down, he threw it up for grabs. A dangerous pass, but it goes incomplete, bringing up a 4th and 7 situation at the 36. And the punting unit will come on, it looks like. Take a look as that football was thrown up for grabs, and it was lucky for North's sake that the ball was not picked off. Let's watch Kinney under pressure.
Under a lot of heat. He was going down as he threw it, just up for grabs, going for Tommy Garcia, and Sutters almost had a chance to pick it off.
And Mike Delgaldo is also in great position. Here's the snap, Schnack, end-over-end kick. Fair catch being signaled by Hess, and he makes the catch into the end zone. Dangerous play by Hess. I wonder if he actually knew where he was, because if he didn't, he actually thought he was inside the 10. That would have been just awful field position. He should have been safe and just let the ball bounce.
You know, Jason Schnack has got to try and angle that off towards the sidelines. There's no reason to kick it straight ahead at the end zone. You got to try and pin him at the 10 or at the 5.
It was only a net of 16 yards as the ball was kicked from the 36. I should say the line of scrimmage was the 36, but you know, you kick it into the end zone and it comes out to the 20. And that's where Central has the football with receivers draped left and right. Here's the give. Scott up the middle. Stays low to the ground and gets up to the 25 for 5 yards. Call it 1st, 2nd, and 5 now.
We're just going to try and wear down that Wheaton North defensive line with Marvell Scott. Strong kid, built like a truck, and fast as a Jaguar.
81 yards in the first half for Scotty. He's got 6 more this half to give him 87. There's a pretty good chance he'll bust 100 on the afternoon. As it's under 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 7-0. Central on top of North. Happy to have you here. Bob Erzick alongside Joe Steinoff for Jones Intercable's Game of the Week. As Central now pushes it up to about maybe the 26-yard line. Shutters maybe getting a yard. Let's see now at the spot of the football. They're going to say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 situation.
Sean Quinn, Billy Kroger closing the holds.
7.5 minutes and counting left in the 3rd quarter. Central on top, 7-zip, trying to move the football. Get another score on their crosstown rivals, Wheaton North. Great ball game we have here for you. Defensive struggle at this point. Thorne has a man. Dudek puts the move around. Thomas still on his feet. And he's finally taken out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Last man to save a touchdown there. The sophomore, Brian Steyer, as Dudek gets it up all the way to the 48-yard line. A gain of 23 yards. The number on his back.
Well, you can go back to the first play of the game when Thorne hit Dudek for a 20-yard strike. It puts the fear into the secondary that this guy can fly. He could burn me any time, so I'm going to lay off him. And on 3rd and 5 plays, you can't lay off him that much. Dudek did the job, so did Jeff Thorne.
And Dudek has the speed to burn anybody out there. Receivers, slot left, slot right, running backs pro set. Here's the give, Hess, right side, met at the line of scrimmage and taken down by a host of tacklers. Nothing there for Billy Hess. 2nd and 10.
Falcons fighting up front, trying to knock some of the Tigers' offensive linemen off their feet. Getting to the holes to stop Hess. Hold them.
And Kroger and Faywell, the first ones to clog up that hole on the right side. So it's now 2nd and 10 at the 47. Wheaton Central starting this drive at its own 20 after the punt went into the end zone from Jason Schnack. And now an official's timeout. It looks like there may be a violation of the uniform, the jersey over there, bringing out one of the Falcons.
Brooke Walls will head in for the Falcons.
2nd and 10, ball on the 47. Thorne, the quarterback, back to pass. Being blitzed by Rose, has pressure, now rolling. Goes over the middle, he's got a man, that's Swanson. He's at the 40. Gets up, now a lateral, the ball's loose. Scott picks it up, and he will be taken down by Steyer at the 37. Swanson tried to lateral the football off to Scott. A bad play, but Marvell Scott showing that tremendous athletic ability, picked it up on one bounce, and ended up getting back to maybe a yard or two extra on that play.
What a dangerous play by Troy Swanson. You caught the pass in the middle, you were tackled, take it at that. Don't try and go doing any laterals. That thing could get picked off in midair or take a Falcon bounce. Then you got a tie ball game here. All the momentum's going with Wheaton North. Weird play, crazy play.
Actually gained 16 yards though, so 1st and 10 at the 37. Under 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Running backs, pro set, receivers straight, left and right. Thorne, 3-step drop, fires, there's Dudek open, puts a move around Thomas, still on his feet, gets the ball up to about the 24-yard line. A pickup of another 13 yards. So just a quick out, little slant pattern hitting Dudek right away, and he picked up 13.
Oh, this Steve Thomas is playing about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. There's no reason why Jeff Thorne shouldn't just drop back one step and fire a strike to Dudek.
Giving him some serious cushion there, Joe, as you got to respect Dudek. Guy's got great hands and tremendous speed and good size. 5.5 minutes to go. Ball on the 25. Back to pass, has a man complete. Swanson at the 20. So they're throwing a nickel and dime passes. That gain of about 4 yards brings up a 2nd and 6 situation now.
Really strange how they're going against the wind. Well, they're still firing passes all over the field. Throwing to Swanson, throwing to Dudek. But on the other side of the ball, Kinney did throw 3 passes. It's, surprising that they're not going to the ground with Scott. Great play calling by John Thorne.
His son Jeff is 4 for 4 this half for 52 yards after being 2 of 6 last in the first half. Here's Hess, right side. And he's taken down, I should say pushed out of bounds by Steve Thomas, the same number 3 out there. Picked up about a couple. Let's call it 3rd and 4. 3rd and 3 after the spot of the football. Ball is down at about the 18-yard line.
3 on 3, 3rd and 3.
Tigers will take a timeout. They've got a 3rd and 3 situation. Ball on the 18-yard line. They lead 7-0 with 4:42 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Joe. And the complexion of this game has switched a bit from the first half in that the Tigers are more so controlling the football this half as opposed to the Falcons were in the first half.
Oh, exactly. They're mixing it up in a big way. They're not even going in a run. They're passing the ball after they pound out about 94 yards of rushing in the first half. You figure that's what they would do. And they're taking advantage of those defensive backs laying off about 8 or 10 yards. It's a good job by Jeff Thorne and his dad, John Thorne, making the calls.
And North's fans still keeping hope their team will get back in this one and win it. Well, they're still in it. It's only 7-0, but they want them to get on the board here. But right now, Central is a team that is threatening with the football at the 18-yard line in Falcon territory. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 situation. We'll have to see what the call is from Coach John Thorne. His quarterback Jeff is executing the offense.
Falcons need to stop him here because you never know. Rich Sampson, you don't know.
So 4:42 left to go, third quarter. Running backs pro set, receivers draped left and right. Here's the give. Hess, left side, got some yardage. It's going to be close to the first down. It looks like he may come up a little bit short. He got about a couple. It'll bring up probably a fourth down and less than one, I would say. It's going to be close. Fourth and about less than a yard after the nose of the football is spotted just inside the 15-yard line.
They're taking the points.
Wow, they're going to go for the field goal.
No, they're going. No, they sent in Shutters.
I didn't see him send him out there. Safe play would probably just have Thorne go forward on the quarterback sneak. They give Hess. He's got it.
Wait a minute.
Be close. I thought he got it from our vantage point. They're going to bring out the chain gang. It's a 4th and 1 situation. Hess went off the left side, and it appeared that he may have gotten it, but now after the spot of the football, it's going to be really close.
I think he just got it.
Kind of a dangerous play. You'd think you'd go with your fullback on that, or else the quarterback keeper when you have less than a yard to go, but Coach Thorne decided to go to Billy Hess, and it worked for a first down.
I thought they were sending out Sampson, but it was Shutters with the call.
$3:55 to go, third quarter. The winner of this one will be on the road to play the winner of the Belvedere-Rockford-Jefferson game. At last indication, Belvedere was on top fairly big at the half. So for now, at least, it looks like one of these teams may be playing Belvedere. A team that eliminated Wheaton North last year after Wheaton North eliminated Wheaton Central in the quarterfinals. Here's Thorne on the keeper. Here's the pitch. Hess, right side, going to get around the corner. No, he doesn't. Gets back probably close to the line of scrimmage. And it'll probably be a 2nd and 10 situation now.
Well, what the Falcons have to do is don't give them the touchdown. They can't, you can't give them the touchdown. You can make them attempt the field goal, and even though Rich Sampson kicked that 30-yarder for the extra point due to the unsportsmanlike conduct, there's still some questions involved. Is the back hurting? We'll see.
We know they're going to bring on Sampson as opposed to one of their junior kickers who struggled in the Waubonsee Valley game. So hurt back or not, you'll see Sampson. Thorne back to pass. Goes toward the end zone for Dudek. He almost made a great catch. Excellent defense down there by Kyle Kelso. Couple of excellent athletes going at it tooth and nail for the football. And it hit Dudek in the hands, but it was juggle, and it goes for an incomplete pass.
Well, it was Kyle Kelso on the coverage this time, unlike Steve Thomas on the last two passes to Chris Dudek. Let's take a look at that one again. Thorne will drop back the pass, only 2-step drop. Goes for Dudek in the coffin corner, and he just can't come up with it.
Nice coverage down there. It hit Dudek in the hands, but he may have been shaded by the hand of Kelso. Thorne back to pass, being rushed, avoids one man. Goes around Quinn, fires over the middle, it's incomplete. It was broken up. Intended for Troy Swanson right around the goal line, but it'll go incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and 10. And let's see.
And now Sampson will come out.
Yep, they bring on the kicker
Wait
Sampson.
a minute.
Now he's called back just for some final instruction from Coach John Thorne. And now Rich Sampson will come on. He has only attempted 4 field goals this year, so he hasn't gotten a chance very much in these situations. But the ball will be spotted right at the 22, making it a 32-yard field goal. The wind is blowing in Sampson's face. The snap. Oh, fake! It's a fake. Thorne throws it up. It's complete to Scott. He's got room on the left side. He may go in. Touchdown, Marvell Scott from 14 yards out. And that one looked like it was planned. A 14-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Thorne to Marvell Scott. And that one will go in for the touchdown. That makes it 13-0. Central fans going crazy on the sideline. With 2 minutes, 32 seconds to go. Let's take a look at it. Once again, that one looked like it was planned, Joe.
It was planned. They knew Sampson holding his back, faking it. Thorne finds Scott then on the side, eludes a tackle, and then he just powered his way into the end zone for the score. Big play by Wheaton Central. It was planned.
No chance to stop him, but the extra point goes through as well. And it's now 14-0. Central is fired up on the 14-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Thorne to Marvell Scott. That combination hooking up once again. And it's now 14-0 off the fake field goal. No doubt about that one. That one was definitely as a fake, as you saw in the replay, as Thorne, instead of putting the football down on the ground, faked it, picked it right back up, rolled to his side, had some great pressure on him, but he ended up hitting Scott, who got into the end zone.
He did. I thought he was going to Mike Wormlinger in the end zone, but the pressure was on. Hey, let's just face it. Wheaton North wasn't up to the task of stopping the fake field goal. They weren't ready for it. They thought the points were coming. They thought the 3 was on the way.
It was a good fake. Last time these two teams met, it was almost a similar situation, except 38 seconds to go in a game where Sampson was attempting a field goal. It was a high snap, and Wheaton Central was accused of running up the score because the North assistants thought that was a fake field goal. However, Coach John Thorne said that one wasn't. But here's the kick by Sampson, taken up by one of the upbacks. That's Faywell from his own 20. Gets up to about the 35-yard line. Returns it about 15 yards. And North will take over 1st and 10 from its own 35 with 2:25 left to go in the third quarter. The Falcons trailing the Tigers 14-0.
And even though they got faked out by the field goal, which a lot of times it happens, you still got to make the tackle then after the pass. They had a chance at tackling Scott short of the first down. They couldn't come up with it.
Scott's not the easiest guy to bring down, but Kinney back to pass. Fires near side, it's incomplete. The pass hits Scott Johnson in the hand at about the 47. Coverage down there from Delgaldo, as well as Marvell Scott, the man who scored both touchdowns so far this afternoon. But it hit him in the hands and was incomplete, so 2nd and 10 from the 35.
And it's time to open it up. You have to let it fly. See what Kinney does. He's got some good receivers in Scott Johnson, Tom Garcia, Jimmy Rose out of the slot, Faywell.
Well, Central knows that North has to throw the football as Kinney goes back again. This one again incomplete for Scott Johnson. This one hitting him in the hands both times, but they were both tough catches to make, and you got to remember that this is only Scott Johnson's, actually his 3rd game of the year. He was hurt in the 1st game of the season against Simeon, a serious knee injury, but he's back now, so he still may be a little bit rusty.
And just like Thorne, he hasn't thrown the ball too much this year. Same with Kinney, he hasn't put it up that much, and that's why you're seeing these passes overshoot their receivers. They're high.
He was 6 of 19 the last time these two teams met for 46 yards. The blitz is picked up over the middle, and it's incomplete again. And this one off the hands of Jimmy Rose, normally a sure-handed receiver, and the receiver's having trouble holding on to Kinney's passes. He put some mustard on that one, and it went through the hands of Rose, so it's going to be 4th and 10, and North will have to punt.
Every pass had some good velocity on it. It just didn't seem like they were at the numbers. None of them were. You have to hit the guys in the numbers.
So Schnack will stand at his own 26-yard line. The Central team has blocked 8 punts this year. Great punt. And it's going to bounce out of bounds. Yes. Right at about, let's see, they're going to mark it probably at about the 8-yard line. Tremendous punt. That actually was a 57-yard punt off the foot of Jason Schnack as it rolled a long way.
Well, just when it seemed like nothing's going right, you get burned on the fake field goal, you throw 3 incomplete passes the next time you touch the ball, and then Schnack comes up with a 57-yard punt, rolls out at the 8. You have to get fired up after this because there's plenty of time.
One thing that's working in Wheaton North's favor is that Central's going to have to go a long way for a score. They've done it before, but Central hasn't had the greatest field position in this game so far, and that's been due to good punting from Wheaton North and a good field position they have received in turn. Now here's Hess on the carry, gets up to about the 15-yard line. Gain of 7 yards, so 2nd and 3 now.
See, that's exactly what you don't need is like a 7-yard gain. 2 or 3, okay, but when they pound 7 out at you on the first crack, you know, you can see 2 more running plays coming.
Well, this is it. This Wheaton North defense has played extremely well this entire season. However, it has not shown up for games against Wheaton Central in the 35-9 loss. And then against Naperville North when they lost 28-14. Coach Rex saying it himself.
Fumble.
There's a fumble, but Thorne did a good job of controlling it. And he maintains possession for Central. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 3 now.
Critical play for Wheaton North. Have to shut them down here because even the time does become a factor.
Boy, North would really get a shot in the arm with a turnover, and they had a chance there. They could not jump on the loose football as Thorne did a good job of corralling it. We're under final minute to go in the 3rd quarter. 45 seconds and counting. 14-zip Central on top of North. Central has the ball deep in its own territory. 3rd and 3 situation from the 15. Thorne checks out the defense, audibilizing, but he took too long. And that's a good break for North, as that will make it 3rd and 8 now with 34 seconds to go.
Great break. You don't know what they called in. They might have called it in a run, but tack on an extra 5 and you might have to go to the air.
And David Shutters brings in the play for Central. We'll have to see if they decided to change the play. In all likelihood, as you mentioned, Joe, they probably would have gone for the run. But on 3rd and 8, if you want to authentically try to get a first down here in this situation, you probably got to go for a pass or at least a draw. Thorne barks out the signals. Running backs pro set backfield. Here's the pitch. Shutters gets it up to about the 15. That'll be short of the first down. And now North will call timeout and get another play before time runs out in this 3rd quarter.
Because the wind is going against the Tigers. They got to boot the ball into the wind, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's blowing that good out there, but it's blowing.
And this Wheaton North offense still has been unable to put up a touchdown on this Central defense, although they did score 9 points in their last meeting. 6 of those points came on a 93-yard touchdown return off the opening kickoff for Kyle Kelso, and the other came on a 30-yard field goal from Jason Schnack. So in 7 quarters of play, this North team has not been able to put the football in the end zone against Central.
No, the Tigers defense has done the job. They had to come up big when they come up big. Billy Hess on the option. Shutting down Kinney most of the day. They're forced to pass now. You're down 14. You're forced to throw it in the air. You can't go to Kelso anymore. And that's something that the Falcons aren't used to doing.
And this Wheaton North team, perfect at home this year at 6-0. Both their losses this year coming on the road at Wheaton Central, at Naperville North, while this Wheaton Central team is 4-0 on the road. So something's got to give here, as this should probably, well, it may be the final play of the quarter. Don't etch it in stone, though. Here's the punt. Wormling, oh, a terrible boot. Big break for North. Ball rolls out of bounds at the 22-yard line, a 7-yard punt. Boy, what tremendous field position for the Falcons.
No, I don't know what they're doing there. You have to kick that ball a lot farther than 7 yards. Anybody can kick it 7 yards.
I tell you, Joe, what I think it is, Central is so scared to put that ball in the hands of Kyle Kelso that Wormlinger is just worried about punting the ball somewhere off to the side. He shanked it twice today. Back to pass, draw to Steyer, up the middle, he's got some yardage, still on his feet. Gets down all the way to about the 10-yard line. Pickup of about 11 yards. They're going to spot it at the 11 with 11 seconds to go. So 11-yard gain, and that'll be a first down, it looks like.
Nice call, because I think the Tigers were setting up for the pass, Bob, because they had the last play with the wind. You know, so what John Thorne and probably some of the other defensive coaches said was, look for the pass. Look for Kinney to take advantage of the wind.
Well, that will be the final play of the quarter as the siren sounds. But Wheaton North is threatening as they trail Central after 3 quarters of play, 14-0. Stay tuned, 4th quarter action coming up right after this on Jones Intercable's Game of the Week.
Luigi's Pizza gives you piping hot pizza, delivered or carry out, and much more. Bring the team in uniform for that post-game celebration and get a special deal. Or just stop by with the family and enjoy Luigi's tasty hot pizza. Parties too big? Not for Luigi's. We'll cater up to 400 people with a very selective menu. And if you can't fit them all at your place, reserve our spacious back room for the occasion. Or join the birthday club. Luigi's Pizza, the place for sports, family, and fun. Pick up the phone and say hello to Luigi's.
Welcome back to Falcons Field. Keep it right here. 14-0 Tigers on top of the host Wheaton North Falcons. However, North is driving deep in Central territory. The football is on the 11. A 1st and 10 situation as fourth quarter action just about to begin. Happy to have you here. This is Bob Erzik alongside Jones Snydoff. The Jones Intercables Game of the Week, and this is a good one. Last time these two teams met, Central just drubbed North 35-9 8 days ago. But North is trying to make amends for that one. Here's the draw. Kelso left side. He may go in. He's going to go for a touchdown. Kyle Kelso, 12-yard score off the left side. He broke one tackle, and he's in the end zone. And it's now 14-6, Central on top of North.
And that didn't take long, did it, Bob? Only 5 seconds off the clock. Great call. Draw to Kelso. They still go to him. Even though they're down 14-0, they still go to Kelso.
He's their big play guy, and although that was only a 12-yard touchdown run, it was a big play because that is the first score by Wheaton North's offense against this Central defense in 7 quarters. Now for the extra point, Jason Schnack is on, trying to make it a 7-point difference. Kick is up straight through the uprights and good. So with that, it is now 14-7, Wheaton North trailing Central, and the Falcons will kick it off to the Tigers. But if we get a chance to take a look at that one again, you'll see, Joe, how Kelso broke one tackle. It looked like he was going to get about a yard or two, but once he busted that tackle, he was clear into the end zone.
He also has tremendous speed, like Marvell Scott. There's Hess, just too much speed.
And like we said, you're not going to see Billy Hess miss too many tackles, but once Kelso put that move on and veered off to the near side, that was it. No one was going to get him. So there's plenty of time left in this one, 11:55 to go. Typical Wheaton Central, Wheaton North battle. Nail biter right down to the end. As anytime these two crosstown rivals get together for the city championship, it's always a battle. And a little bit more on the line in this one, beside a city championship and town pride. It means do or die, it means survival. One team will go home today and watch the rest of the playoffs, while the other will continue on to the quarterfinals in Class 5A.
Great game.
So here's the boot coming from Schnack. It's a low line driver. It's going to go out of bounds. Out of bounds, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty assessed to the kicking team, Wheaton North, and they will have to boot it right now from their own 35. Big crowd on hand at Falcons Field. Would you have expected anything less?
It took me a while to get here. Roosevelt Road, it was packed like I told you, Bob. You had to be wondering where I was.
I was wondering, Joe. I was getting kind of nervous, but thank goodness you're here and everything's going just peachy. 11:55 to go in this one. 14-7. North trailing Central, and they will boot it again. 5-yard penalty assessed to the kickoff team, as the Falcon fans, for the first time this afternoon basically, have had a chance to cheer about something, as their team right back in it, down just by 7 points now. Chilly one in the low 40s, wind gusting at about 20 to 25 miles an hour, as another low end over end kick. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks at the 30. That's Marvell Scott on his feet. He gets up to the 42. You don't want to get that football in Marvell's hands as the penalty marker is down on the field. And it looks like it's going to be against the return team, Wheaton Central. It's a clip. That'll hurt. 15 yards.
Well, the Falcons, before they were down 14-0, it looked like they had to go to the air with Kinney. It's 14-7, 11:50 left. Tigers are starting out at the 25. All you have to do is play your game plan now. Good Falcon defense, get the ball, and let's run with Kyle.
That would have been some of the best field position on the day so far for Wheaton Central. However, that penalty nullifies that. Gets it down to the 19-yard line. Here's Thorne, back to pass. Has time, over the middle. He's got Wormlinger. Wormlinger taken down at the 40, the first time those two hooked up. That's a pickup of 20 yards, a dangerous combination there. Those
And number 1, hit him in the hands.
First and 10 from the 40, receivers draped left and right, running backs pro set. Thorne barks out the signals, 3-step drop, blitz. Scott threw a great catch, but he couldn't hold on to the football. A tremendous hit from Steve Thomas, the cornerback, and it jarred the football loose from Dudek. Boy, what a big hit from Thomas. He's not the biggest kid in the world. He's only 5'11", 155 pounds, while Dudek has some decent size. He's 6'3", 190, and Thomas laid a heavy hit into Dudek.
Strange in this game between two rivals, we haven't seen too much hitting. That had to be the first big pop that we've seen, and it came on Chris Dudek.
And a play like that can just add to momentum for a team. We'll have to see if that happens for North. Second and 10 from the 40, Thorne passing again. He's got some time. He's going to be sacked. The 39-yard line. First sack of the afternoon.
Fumble.
There was a fumble on the play. However, it looks like Central recovered it. And credit that sack to Matt Steyer. It's a loss of 4 yards, bringing up a 3rd and 14 situation from the 36.
And this is where you have to come up big. This is who wants it more. 3rd and 14. If you're the Tigers, you want to execute on the line, on your timing pattern.
Running backs, pro set, receivers deployed left and right side. Back to pass, Thorne rolling. Has time, over the middle, has a man. Dudek almost made a great catch. Just off his fingertips at the 42-yard line. And Chris Dudek stretched out that 6'3" frame, but he could not get his hands. He could not corral it in, I should say, as it went off of his hands. And it'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation.
But Dudek dove for the ball, and that's what you like to see out of a Division I prospect like Chris Dudek. He gave it his all. Thorne tried to lead him, but it was a little too much.
All right, here's Wormlinger, who struggled so far this afternoon on the punts. From his own 25, boots it, end over end kick. Kelso takes it at his 25. He's going to veer to the near side. Good coverage. He goes right down as he slipped. But there was good coverage down there from John Moyaki as well as Brad Pearl. And he only got the ball up maybe a couple yards.
Well, Kelso was coming to the near side, and I think he had a lot more room on the far side.
The North takes over, 1st and 10 in its own territory at the 29-yard line. 10-15 and running in this one. 14-7 the score. Central on top of North. We're at Falcons Field. Keep it here. By no means is this one over. It'll probably go down to the final minute. Here's the draw. Slow developing play. Kelso met in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 3 yards. Boy, Kinney took forever to get back there. By the time the draw was executed, it seemed like a whole bunch of Central's defense was in the backfield.
They read that one all the way. They were doing their homework. Didn't take long to read. Speed readers.
As you can see right there, Central fired up. Billy Hess, one of the captains on that defense, along with Marvell Scott.
Even though the wind is blowing about 20 miles, it's really picking up right now. You still have to go to the air.
Definitely gusting. Here's Kinney. Has plenty of time. Fires. Has a man. It's complete. All the way up to the 45-yard line. Tommy Garcia on the catch. Gain of 20 yards. The biggest gain of the day for Wheaton North via the pass.
I wanted to see what Kinney had on the sidelines. We seen him go over the middle, and he threw a bullet right to Garcia. Got him right in the numbers.
Kinney, 2 of 6 for 28 yards so far this half. 20 of those coming on that last pass play. Hasn't had the greatest numbers today. He was just 1 of 4 in the first half. 1st and 10. Here's the give. Up the middle, big yardage. That Steyer gets it up to about the 49, maybe the 50. That hole closed up in a hurry, though. It looked like he was going to get some big yardage up there as there was all blue over there. But Central shut it down quick with that great team speed. It was only a gain of 5 yards, so 2nd and 5 from midfield.
Well, that was Chuck DeVito shutting down the hole there.
2nd and 5. 2 receivers to the near side. Faywell along with Kelso. 2 more to the far side. Here's a pass looking for Johnson. There was contact. However, there was no chance to catch that football. There was coincidental contact over there between Delgado as well as Faywell. I should say Johnson. And that pass was incomplete, so call it 3rd and 5 now for North.
They tried a sideline pattern. Mike Delgado on the coverage, perfectly positioned. Didn't let him get inside, even though the pass was thrown outside, but it was just good coverage by Delgado.
3rd and 5, this may be 2 down time for Wheaton North, as they have fairly decent position at the 50-yard line. Here's Kinney, plenty of time all day. Got a man, Kelso. It's caught at the 10-yard line. Kyle Kelso makes the catch 40 yards later, and Wheaton North has a 1st and goal at the 10.
What a pass by Kinney. Kinney to Kelso. What a great combination.
And the Wheaton North fans going nuts as Kyle Kelso, the big play man on that offense for North, comes through with another big one. 40 yards on that completion.
Right on the money. Kelso just had a step on Shutters and he came through.
Well, this is it right here. Here's the give. Steyer met right away in the backfield. Sion, no yardage there. Let's look at that play again. The last one, the big completion for 40 yards from Kinney to Kyle Kelso.
Well, Kinney had a lot of time. Look at the time the line gives him. Kelso, just one step. That's all he had on Shutters, and that's all he needed.
Pretty decent coverage. You can't fault Shutters on that one, as he was right there. Under 8 minutes to go, 4th quarter, 14-7, North trailing Central. But the Falcons have the football at the 10-yard line. Here's Kinney to give to Kelso, right side. Has some blockers, gets it out to the 8-yard line. He got a couple. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8 situation now. You know Coach Rex is going on 4th down. You can put that in the bank.
Well, the running game is being shut down. We're going to have to see what Kinney does here. They have to come up with their best play right here.
3rd and goal from the 8. 3 receivers out to the far side. Johnson, Rose, Kelso. 1 man in the backfield. Steyer, back to pass. Kinney in the flat. Threw it over the head of Kelso, incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 8 here. Now, they may try instead to go with the field goal. It's going to be an interesting call from Coach Rex. 7:05 left to go in this one. Plenty of time to come down and score again. Even if they boot the ball to Wheaton Central without trying an onside kick, we'll see what Coach Rex decides to do. I think they're going for it, Joe.
Yeah. Tommy Garcia came in with the play.
4th and 8.
Here it is.
7:05 to go. 4th quarter. 4 receivers deployed. 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Kinney back to pass. Plenty of time. Has a man over the middle. Incomplete. Pass interference.
There it is.
There's going to be a penalty on Mike Delgado for pass interference. I don't think that ball could have been caught, though. But they're going to call it pass interference, so North still alive. 1st and goal.
Was way overshot. Once again, Kinney overshot his man. But Tom Garcia, we've seen this play happen before. If it's overshot and you feel a little something in the back, you let the referee know that there was a little contact made.
Here it is again. Watch the pass. It's really overthrown. No chance. But Delgado hits him, and it's pass interference. So 1st and goal. They move it up 5 yards only. It's not like the pros where they push it to the point of the contact. It's only a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. 1st and goal from the 5. Here's the give. Steyer, right side. Fumble! Football, but it's recovered by North. Steyer coughed it up. But Wheaton North recovered it. Oh, my goodness. Whew. Big play for North. Getting that football back. We don't know who recovered it. Maybe we can take a look at it again. But Steyer was jolted in the backfield. And boy, oh boy, he almost lost the football. Similar situation last time these two teams met where Steyer fumbled it. There it is right there. Couldn't see the number who recovered it, actually. No, it was Kelso. It was Kyle Kelso.
Kyle Kelso.
The guy is unbelievable. He recovered the football. That man does everything for this
Man.
team. T formation backfield. Here's the give. Kelso left side, still on his feet, gets down to about the 1. He gets down to about the 1. It's going to bring 3rd and goal from the 1. Clock moving, under 6.5 minutes to go. 3rd and 1. This is what playoff football is all about, Joe Snydoff.
Oh, man. The state playoffs give us treats like this.
Inside the 1.
Fans going
Crowd
nuts.
on its feet. They want to score from their Falcons. Here's the give. Kelso, he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Kyle Kelso from 1 yard out is in the end zone, and it's 14-13 North, trailing by 1 now.
That's the man, Mr. Kelso. And like Rex said, without an offensive line, he'd just be another Kelso. Give credit to that offensive line.
14-13. Let's see, do they go for the 2-point conversion? Nope, they're going to go for the tie. Jason Schnack is on for the extra point. This is a big play. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. We've got a tie ball game. 6 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. It's Wheaton Central 14, Wheaton North 14.
14-14, 4th quarter. 6 minutes left. The story's set. The story is set.
Let's look at it once again. A big play. The ball game tied up now. 14-14. Who would you expect but Kyle Kelso? There he is, taking it in for the touchdown. And it is all tied up. So, this North team has come from 14 points down at home, and they have tied it up. We mentioned the stat earlier that the Falcons 6-0 this year at home, while the Tigers 4-0 on the road. Obviously, something's going to have to give here, as we're 6 minutes away from overtime. North will kick it off. End over end kick. It's going to be taken by Marvell Scott from his 16. Still on his feet. And he is taken down at the 36-yard line. A return of 20 yards, and that Wheaton North team is fired up.
Fans are fired up. Players are fired up. Sean Beard came off the field waving his hands. He's back out there.
And this is all what it's all about. Everyone expecting this one to be a tight ball game. And it is 14-14. 5.5 minutes and counting. Wheaton Central going to try to control the football and bring it down deep into North territory. Here's Scott on the run. He gets around the corner. He's taken down by Kelso at the 38-yard line. A 2-yard gain. It is now 2nd and 8.
I didn't burn him that time on that touchdown run. Scott went right by Kelso. Kelso's right with him. How does this guy do it? Plows in from 1 yard, and then he stops Scott for only a 3-yard gain.
He's just a tremendous, tremendous athlete. 5 minutes and counting. 14-14, 2nd and 8. Here's Thorne, back to pass, has time, fires, has a man incomplete. Intended for Troy Swanson at the 45-yard line. Glove-like coverage out there by Steve Thomas. It's now 3rd and 7.
They're blitzing more, they're moving more, they're attacking more. Everything going the Falcons' way. Bad punts, officials called. That's why we're tied at 14, Bob.
Well, blocking and tackling, that's what Coach Rex said. They did not do in the first time these two teams met, but that is definitely what this North team is doing right now. 3rd and 7. Thorne back to pass. Over the middle, it's complete to Wormlinger at the 50. And it's good enough for the first down.
Well, you had to wonder who was it going to go to. Wormlinger. Just a nice call over the middle, safe. And usually that kind of call, if you connect on it, will go for about 8 or 10 yards. Plenty of distance for the first down.
Well, that's one of Thorne's bread and butter men. That's Wormlinger. He caught 3 touchdown passes in the first playoff game. 1 for 74 yards, 1 for 23, and another for 11. Thorne back to pass again. Has a man complete to Swanson at the 45-yard line. So Central going with the safe passes over the middle and over the sideline, and that will bring up a 2nd and 5 situation and gain 5 yards.
Well, they're going with the wind. You can see there's a Tiger flag on the other side being bent, so it's gusting.
Wind blowing at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. The flags here, trust us, are gusting. Under 4 minutes to go, tie ball game. Thorne, here's the give. Scott off left side, still on his feet, gets to the 40. It's going to be close to the first down. Depending on the spot of the football, it's going to be right there. And they're going to have to bring out the chains for this one, no doubt about it. It'll either be a first down or a 3rd and inches as the clock is stopped at 3:41. Ball game tied up at 14. Central has the football in Wheaton North territory. Noses at the 40, and they are driving.
I think it's going to be just short by a few inches.
We'll have to see what our referee for this afternoon's game, Stan Block, tells us as they're stretching out the chains right now. It's going to be first down. Yep, looked like he was going to indicate just short, but sure enough, the nose of the football just over. So Central has another first down. Wheaton North fans on their feet here, as are Central's. What a classic game. This is what you thought, this is how you wanted it to come down to. Final minutes of the game, tie ball game. See which one of these teams can pull it out. Thorne back to pass. Pumps once, he's going to be blitzed, he's going to be sacked at the 47-yard line. A loss of 13 yards, a big sack for Wheaton North.
Jimmy Rose came from the blind side. Thorne just took a little too much time. They blitzed the linebackers. And it was a big defensive play for the Falcons.
Big is right, a 12-yard loss. And 22, here's the give. Hess, left side, he's going to get a few.
Fumble! There's a fumble!
Ball is loose, North has recovered. North has recovered the football at their own 40-yard line. A big fumble by Billy Hess.
He got stuck real hard.
May have been Jason Schnack who recovered it. We'll have to take a look at the replay.
And I think it was Matt Steyer that made the hit on Hess.
Boy, someone hit him from behind and just jerked his back. And that's what caused the fumble. Let's stick it right here. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. North has it, 2.5 minutes to go. Here's the give up the middle, Steyer. He gets about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Emotions just riding here in this game. Everyone on their feet, all excited. North's fans obviously more than Central's because they have the football at their own 43-yard line with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go.
All their timeouts too, plenty of time.
Joe, I think they only have 2 timeouts left. They took one on an earlier drive.
That's right.
Back to pass, Kinney fires, got him in, out of bounds, nice catch. A nice job by Tommy Garcia, the junior, straddling the sideline. And it's another first down, a gain of 8 yards on that one, as they are in Wheaton Central territory at the 49.
Well, that was a professional play right there. Garcia straddling the sidelines, keeping 1 foot in bounds. Kinney threw it there on a line, and the clock stops at 1:59.
Smart play because they save a timeout. They have 2 left. Garcia, let's see if they work the sidelines or if they continue to run the football. Kinney back to pass, has time, looks like they're setting up a screen again. They are. Good play by Kinney, throwing it out of bounds, as Central did a nice job of staying at home. You can tell right away when it's going to be a screen because Kinney just backpedals so slowly, and it gives it away, at least to us it does. I don't know, maybe on the field level, we're up high in the press box. We can see it much easier than the defense can, but we can call out the screen here, and that one didn't work as Central sniffed it out in a hurry.
But it just looks like that. I'm sure defensive linemen are saying, forget it, I'm not going in after him. I'm going to try and find a guy with a receiver number.
So after Kinney throws that one away, it puts it at 2nd and 10 with 1:53 to go. We've got a tie game. Keep it here. You'd have to be nuts to leave this one.
A penalty.
I believe a penalty is being called on Wheaton North. We haven't gotten the indication from the referee, but Coach Rex is livid on the sideline. There he is in the red stocking hat. and he's pretty upset. Well, now wait a minute. They haven't moved the football.
No, they haven't moved the football.
There's no penalty. There's something, though, that was called that has infuriated Coach Rex. And the ball remains at the 49-yard line. There's a powwow at midfield between the referees. You see some of Wheaton Central's players there as well. And they're discussing what's going on. I don't know if they know themselves, as we're still trying to figure it out.
Pack of Zebras analyzing the situation.
And there will be some type of penalty. Sure enough. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Let's see what the call is. Illegal man downfield on that pass is what the call was, Joe.
I don't know what they're...
Well, the way, I mean, you could possibly see that happening because the way it happened, it was such a slow developing play that it would seem natural for at least one guy who wasn't supposed to be down there to be moving upfield.
Right.
Back to pass, Kinney has time, fires a bullet, it's complete to Garcia. Yes, they're going to say it is a catch. Garcia makes a great catch as Kinney just rifled the football over there, and it's at the 44-yard line, so that ends up being a gain of 8 yards, and they'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now.
Big play there. Kinney and Garcia hooking up twice.
Instead, that's going to be a 2nd down because they did take the penalty of the man downfield, illegal man downfield. So it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 44. 1:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Kinney back to pass, has time, fires it. It's complete again. Another great catch by Tommy Garcia. And he continues to hold on to the football as Kinney rifles the ball. And that's twice in a row that Garcia's had his legs taken out from under him. But he has done a nice job, the junior, in holding on to the football. 1:42 to go, the clock is stopped. And now it starts rolling again as Garcia did not get out of bounds.
It was a vicious hit, and yet the kid comes up with the ball.
1.5 minutes to go and counting. 1st and 10 from the 37, tie ball game, 14-14. Here's the pitch, Kelso, left side. He holds on to football, both hands being hit from behind. Gets to the 34, a gain of 3 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7 situation, and now a timeout, the 2nd one taken by Wheaton North.
Well, you know, this is a little far for Schnack. They have to get real close for him to get a chance, to get a logical shot at it, Bob.
Well, he booted a 31-yarder, I should say a 30-yarder, a little bit over a week ago, the last time these two teams met. So you know he's capable of hitting that one. So you got to get the football inside the 20 probably to have a decent shot of Jason hitting the field goal. Right now with the timeout on the field, let's set up the situation for you. 1:19 left to go in the 4th quarter. We will go to overtime if the tie is not broken. Right now it's 14-14. 2nd and 8 situation facing Wheaton North at the 35-yard line. Now the winner of this one advances to the quarterfinals in the Class 5A playoffs to play either Belvedere or Rockford Jefferson. And at last check it was Belvedere shutting out Jefferson. So in all likelihood the winner of this one will be on the road at Belvedere. But if we get an update on that game, we'll let you know. Both crowds on their feet, fired up here, cheering their teams on.
And the wind is blowing even harder right now, so he definitely has to get within inside the 20, Bob.
That will definitely play a factor. The wind blowing into the face of Wheaton North's offense. So they will have to move that football even closer probably to get in field goal range for Jason Schnack. Now Kinney rolling out, has loads of time, throws it, it's almost picked off.
Ooh.
And Jeff Thorne has been inserted in the defense now. He hasn't seen much playing time in at least the games that we've seen. But Coach Thorne putting out, I guess, his best players that he feels out there right now. And he feels his son Jeff is one of those. And he has tremendous athletic ability. So he is out there right now instead of, I believe, Mike Delgaldo.
And that's because Tom Garcia caught 3 passes in a row, and he yanked the corner.
So now the 2-1s facing each other out there. Jeff Thorne and Tommy Garcia, the wide receiver for North. Kinney back to pass, has time, pumps once, he's spent. The fumble. No, now they're going to say it's an incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
Now they say it's incomplete. Boy, that's close. We got to take a look at that one again. I thought that was a fumble, Joe. We got to look at it again on our replay. The referee, Stan Block, says that Kinney, in fact, was in a forward throwing motion, which in fact would make it an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. Let's look at it.
Okay, Kinney drops back to pass. He pump fakes. And then...
Boy, that's really close. That is a fine line right there. That is a real fine line right there. We got to look at that one again if we have a chance to. That was amazingly close because he was pump faking once, and it looked like he was getting ready to throw it again. Let's look at it. Here he is back. Here's the pump. Now he's pumping again, ready to throw, but I don't think he was going forward. I think North caught a break.
4th and 8.
Back to live action. Thorne back to pass. Check that.
He's got a lot of heat on him.
He's going to be pulled down. Short of the first down at the 35, and Wheaton Central will take over on downs with 1 minute to go at their own 35-yard line.
There was a lot of heat coming. Michael Wormlinger was in there, forced him to get out of the pocket. Kinney couldn't find anybody, and he had to eat it.
All right, clock is running. We believe Central has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Receivers out to the left side, running backs pro set. 50 seconds to go, ball on the 35, 1st and 10. Here's Thorne rolling far side. He throws, it's got a man, that's Dudek underneath the coverage, goes around one man, still on his feet, he may go! He's taken down at the 32-yard line. Chris Dudek, 33 yards.
And there's a flag.
And now there's a flag, a late flag. We're gonna have to see what that is. A late flag after Dudek was down.
Incredible moves by Dudek. We got a clip on the Tigers.
Whoa, what a big penalty. Wow, what a big penalty. And that is going to come back. It's going to be a 15-yard walk-off.
Let's see if we can take a look at that. Maybe possibly spot where the clip came in.
Now what happened, Joe, is they'll move it back from actually where the clip was made. So it doesn't go back from the original line of scrimmage. So at least it was still a pretty good gain for Central. If we get a chance, maybe we'll be able to show you that later on. Clock running, under 30 seconds to go. Receivers left and right, running backs pro set. Thorne back to pass, pumps once, still back there. Heavy pressure, he's going to be sacked. Still on his feet. And now he's going to be taken down finally. I don't know how he escaped those guys. But they're going to say Thorne is down at the 50 with 15 seconds to go. But let's look at that play one more time, the one we were alluding to earlier with that tremendous move from Dudek. Here's Thorne. And watch the move by Dudek. Fakes one man. Let's see.
Inside.
Oh, I think they're going to call Swanson, Joe. Yep. Troy Swanson, number 14, on the clip, and it was pretty close, I think.
You got your contacts in, don't you?
Thank goodness. No, but it looked like that one was really close to being, I mean, they said it was a clip, but it was awfully close. I don't think Swanson really hit the defender, but, what can you say? That's the call. The referees made it. They had a better vantage point than we did. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Ball at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 13. 15 seconds to go in this one. Check that, ball at the 49 in Wheaton North territory. 15 seconds to go, a timeout on the field, taken by Wheaton Central, obviously. And it's a 2nd and 13 situation. What Central would probably like to do is get a big hitter here and possibly set up a field goal attempt.
Sure, take a crack at around a 20, close around that area. Once he gets down, call the immediate timeout and then take a shot at the field goal. It's only 2 plays.
Out of the huddle, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Lone setback is Scott. Back to pass Thorne. Here comes the blitz from Ferris. He lets it go over the middle. It's caught by Hess! Billy Hess, what a grab! There's 6 seconds to go. Billy Hess made a tremendous grab amongst a host of defenders. And Wheaton Central has the ball on the 6-yard line and has taken a timeout. I don't believe it.
Holy cow, it's Hess on a big catch. Let's take a look at that one again. Thorne, plenty of time again. He steps back up in the pocket. He just waits. Lets it go from the 50, and it's Hess.
And that was tremendous coverage down there as well.
Jason Schnack.
You can't fault Schnack on that one. He was all over him like a blanket. But boy, oh boy, Billy Hess, what a grab. What a grab.
Oh my gosh.
44 yards.
Schnack was right on him.
There you see the score, 14-14. What does Coach John Thorne do? Does he bring in his kicker, Rich Sampson, with sore back and all, and try for it would be exactly a 23-yard field goal?
Sure.
Or does he try to punch it in with maybe a couple quick passes? Let's see what he does. There's Sampson. Yep, he's out there.
There we go. This is it.
It'll be a 25-yarder, I guess. Central will take it back a few extra yards.
This is it.
This may decide who goes and who goes home, who goes on in the playoffs. 6 seconds to go. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is good! Rich Sampson has hit the field goal with just 2 seconds to go, and Wheaton Central is on top of North, 17-14.
Unbelievable! Sampson, bad back and all.
What a tremendous turn of events. That pass from Thorne that set up that play, he released it like right at the line of scrimmage. He was inches away of going over that line of scrimmage and having a penalty called. And that great catch by Hess, which Schnack all over him like a blanket. And now Sampson caps off the exciting drive with a 25-yard field goal. And there is stunned silence here at Falcons Field, at least on the Wheaton North side, as the Central fans are going nuts as they are 2 seconds away of advancing to the quarterfinals of the Class 5A playoffs. Let's take a look at that tremendous catch once again by Billy Hess with Jason Schnack draped all over him. Look how close Thorne gets to the line of scrimmage when he releases it.
About another 3, maybe another 2 yards in front. That's about all he had, but it was the play. A 44-yard pass to Hess to set up the kick.
And Coach Thorne was saying earlier in the week how tremendously valuable Hess is for him on defense. He's valuable obviously on offense, but he's more valuable to this Tigers team on defense. I think if Coach Thorne had a chance to retract that statement after that catch, I think he would, because I'm sure he's glad he had Hess over there. Here's a squibber. It's on the ground. It's going to be the old lateral play. And the ball is loose. Central has recovered it. This one is over. Wheaton Central has won it 17-14 at Falcons Field. There's pandemonium on the Central sideline. This North team can't believe it. They came back from a 14-0 deficit to tie it up, and then with just 2 seconds remaining, after a 44-yard completion from Jeff Thorne to Billy Hess, Rich Sampson booted a 25-yard field goal, and it's over. 17-14, Wheaton Central, for the second time in 8 days, has beaten this Wheaton North team. Joe, I can't imagine a more exciting game than we had here today.
Incredible game, Bob. 17-14 final. This was no blowout. This was a fantastic ball game. Shivering up and down.